This is WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. You're listening to Off the Record, a show where the Loaf, interview local Raleigh bands. It's not just me, the Loaf. It's just really anybody that wants to do it here at WKNC. But you're getting the Loaf today. So today I have the pleasure of having Boy Named Sue ahead of their new EP in the studio. How are y'all doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having
us.
Good. Hello.
So first start off, who are you guys?
I'm Ben, and I play guitar and sing vocals.
I'm Josh, play bass and do vocals as well.
I'm Scott, and I play drums.
Nice. So where are y'all originally from? Are y'all originally from here in North Carolina? Like, you guys natives here? Or?
Yeah, I moved here when I was 6 from Virginia Beach. I'm 34 now, so I mean, pretty much from here. Raleigh, Cary area.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Nice.
In Raleigh?
Me too.
No, Wilson.
Wilson.
Born and raised North Carolina.
Specific, man.
Yeah, I grew up in Cary.
Nice. So I guess more of a sort of philosophical question. I always like asking this to the bands. What is Boy Named Sue to each of you? Sort of just like, like what does a band mean to you? How do you see the band? Like what's up with it?
Right. That's a good question.
A little bit.
Oh, I gotta get closer right here?
Yeah.
All right, now that's a really good question. I don't know, it's my part of my life, it has been playing music for so many years. It's kind of you get almost used to it, and it's like the only thing you want to keep doing. So it kind of means everything to me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at a point, music becomes the outlet, and it's almost. I mean, it's a necessity right now. It's not something that we could just stop doing. I don't believe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is Boy Named Sue a reference to the show Silverstein / Johnny Cash song?
Hey, yes.
It is?
Yeah, I like that you said Shel Silverstein.
Yeah, because Johnny Cash did the cover.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard, I mean, obviously Johnny Cash did an amazing cover of it, but the Shel Silverstein version, it's just like so much more animated and like lively, because if you read any, I grew up on his kids book, like the kids books he had, know, and but yeah, so like, very, very, great track.
Is is the reason why you chose the song just because you really like Silverstein sing, or are you just like one day you were just like Boy Named Sue?
I think it's I mean we could go back into if you know anything about this band, we've changed our name twice already. So
you guys were previously Proper Sleep, and then what else?
Previously before that was Magnolia.
Okay.
When Scott and I first started this band, so that was like 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Boy Named Sue, I mean, the song's great, but I think it's what the message is behind it, and I think everyone takes it a little differently, but it's kind of, best way to explain it for me is like the adversities that you're kind of, that you're given and that you have no control over, instead of sinking into yourself and, being a recluse, you face it, you face whatever, like, troubles, demons, whatever it may be, head on. Essentially, and it helps make you stronger, I think.
Are you so this is the last name, right? You sticking with the Boy Named Sue, you think?
Oh, yeah. No, this is it. I don't think we can do it. We took a big chance on this change, and it's like, all right, we do it again. I think we're calling it.
Yeah, this is it.
Awesome.
The final form.
The final form, Boy Named Sue. So obviously you're here for your music, so let's talk about it a little bit. Again, another question I always like to ask, how would you define your own music? Is it very, is it just pure, just alt rock? Is it, you have some emo influences, sort of punk mixed into it? Like how would you define it yourself? I know that's always a very tough question.
I think a mixture of everything, to be honest. Just rock and roll, with alternative, with indie, with emo. I mean, for me, what I've listened to over the last 20 years has changed, and so like what I listen to now is not what I listened to when I was 15, but those bands when I was 15 still are an influence to this day in some way, shape, or form. But I think it's just kind of like we just let it come out. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know, like when we're writing, it's not like, oh, I want to try to sound like this genre or like this thing. It's just, here's the song and we're going to let it write itself and we're along for the ride, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
that inhale, you know, double back.
Look, we definitely span the alternative, you know, dips of blues, dips of, you know, punk rock, and, you know, little hints of emo here and there.
Yeah.
But it's because, you know, we come from listening to stuff like that. When we get together, we do try to just let it be, and write how we're feeling. You know, what our direct influences probably come right out in the practice space.
Right. Yeah. I know for like, there's definitely some songs on this new record where I can remember like, oh, I remember writing this and kind of harnessing, maybe like Jim Morrison from The Doors on one of the tracks on Can't Stay Here. And then like having that in my head, and then the melodies and the lyrics and kind of everything flowed from that. And then, yeah, just like little inspirations in the writing. And you're like, oh, cool. This like kind of reminds me of this. I'm going to kind of run with it and see how I do it and how we write it.
So very much in like your own like sort of like, I guess, your own process of music, is it very much like you take inspirations from like every little thing and sort of like put it into a song?
Yeah,
like,
whatever naturally comes.
Yeah.
I think like if you enjoy listening to music and just listening to all kinds, you kind of just soak it up, not knowing it, and it's released when you're writing.
Okay.
So it's not even like a conscious thing going into writing a song. A lot of the times for me, if I'm just on the couch, you know, diddling on the guitar, and then something just, my ear picks something up, I'm like, oh, this is cool. What can this do? And then you start to see the like little influences to help get you from this verse to the chorus, or from this part to this part.
So
insight. Yeah.
So it's very much a sort of a journey.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Each song's a journey, man. And it's a lot of fun.
So with that, your first album, Under Boy Named Sue, I'd say, was released September 3rd of last year.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
you're right.
So we're about 11 days from the anniversary of it.
Okay. Yeah, this has been out a year. Yeah. That's funny.
How do you all feel about it, sort of overall, a year later? Do you enjoy it? Do you wish you changed some stuff about it? Like,
yeah, I think it just naturally evolved, just through growing as writing together, but also circumstances. You know, The Way I Was our last bassist, our homie Keith, who played on that record and was writing with us. And then, you know, he had his second kid, and, you know, it was like, all right, we don't want to put this pressure on you. Definitely step back and focus on what you got to do. And it left us with, you know, all right, what are we going to do? And we had some songs already written. And Josh, you know, he had toured with us, filled in during Proper Sleep on a tour. And we were like, let's hit him up. You know, we enjoyed writing and playing with him and hanging out. And Josh, you know, was down, and he came out. And when he started writing on the songs on this record, you know, that's coming out.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah,
over.
it's just, you know, you both are great bass players, great musicians, but everyone has their individual style. And what Josh brought on here kind of shaped these new songs and took them on another journey. And I just think it's, you know, just another step up from The Way I Was, more refined, more kind of knows what it is.
Yeah.
Right? You know, The Way I Was, I think has some really good songs, but this has now more of a, you know, full thought, if that makes sense.
It's more sort of just like, I guess, toned and not necessarily perfected, but like more sort of like of you.
We kind of know really what we want, like who we are, what our sound is becoming, because I think we're still discovering that. Yeah.
Well, oh, did you want to say something?
No.
So The Way I Was recorded, at least what it says in your Bandcamp. It was recorded in California and North Carolina, right?
Okay, so
or is that
Georgia.
it was recorded in Georgia.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
In Canton, right? Yeah,
Canton,
Canton with
Georgia.
our homie Mark Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did another record when we were proper sleep called "Feels Like Leaving."
Yeah. Was it difficult to record during the pandemic and sort of just like, I guess,
Yeah.
were you guys apart from each other like while recording and practicing too, or no?
Yeah. We were Scott and I recorded. We went down to Georgia. To record everything but the bass and the second vocals. Which we had never done that before. Like anytime we've recorded anything, it's been the three of us in the same room, right? So, but yeah, COVID presented a big challenge for all of the bands, for all us artists in general, right?
Yeah.
And at that time we were practicing, but Keith, who I said has a family, has kids to think about. Like, I mean, dude, he had a plastic like encasing in our storage unit. Why we practiced to keep him, just from getting sick.
Yeah.
At that time, none of us knew really what the hell was going on either. So yeah, that with writing was a whole new dynamic because now I can't really see Keith. When we're playing, Scott can't. I mean, if I had photos, I do somewhere. I will show you.
Yeah.
But like,
Wild.
but it was like, dude, we will do whatever it takes to keep it going because like. What Josh was saying at this point, it's a necessity. Like this isn't just something we want to do. This is something we need to do.
Yeah.
So recording the way I was, Scott and I were together, and then when we came back and got the stems, we hit up a friend where Keith came out and recorded the bass. That's Isaac. Shout out to Isaac. He's helped us out a couple times. And he did his vocals and bass there, and then we got it mixed in California or like mastered. I think maybe that's what you saw. I think what's his name? Who mastered it?
I think a guy named Ryan Schwab.
Yeah, Ryan Schwab, California.
Shout out to Ryan Schwab.
Shout out to Ryan.
Shout out to Ryan Schwab in California. We know you're listening.
We know you're gonna be listening.
Yeah.
That dude's been doing such good work. Probably he might listen. I'll send it to him. Send him the link.
So you talked about how like it was very different, I guess, during COVID and for you writing songs together and all type of stuff. So now that you're out of COVID and just sort of like more, I guess, being more collaborative, what's the songwriting process like for all of you? Is it very collective, collaborative, like very chill, like very much like whatever idea comes, it comes, right? I know you're hinting at that.
Right. Yeah, it's always been collaborative from the get-go, which is so cool. And, we've had a couple different bass players, and everyone who's come in has fit that energy and, is just very comfortable with themselves to just put their art on the table. And then we all just pick it up, mix it up, and it's just always fun. Like, we had practice last night, and we were out of the units at like 1 a.m., 1:30, because you just start rolling.
Yeah.
And some nights it's clicking and things are going well, and some nights, it's tough. But that's the beauty of it, because not everything can be so easy and so great, and then you kind of forget its worth, I guess. But yeah, definitely very collaborative, and a lot more now so too, especially with Josh being like solidified in this trio now, you know? Yeah, because on the end of Keith with the record, like it was, what are we going to do next? And we're scrambling, and now it's like we don't have to worry about that anymore, and it allows us to be more creative, I think.
Nice. So more going into the sort of song creation process, do you have like some songs where it takes longer for you to create? Is it very hard to grasp it a lot of the time?
Some nights, sometimes it will just kind of come together quickly. Like the song on The Way I Was called Anyways. That was one that came together in one session in a night where we just hopped on the wave and just, but then, there are other songs that, might span, months before it's a song, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the final form of the song.
Right.
You just never really know,
Yeah.
And that's that journey. Like each song takes you on a different one.
And the songs can change over time. Even some of the stuff we've recorded for this album, I'd say we're playing it different live at this point in time, because it's just, the more time you spend with something, you find this little way that you make it better for you, or you think you make the song more enjoyable.
Right.
And, you can't just wait and record a record when everything is, 100% perfect, because then you're going to record it and it's going to get even better. You're going to change it a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Are you guys very sort of manic with like your songs? You're just like always want to make it better and sort of just come along with it, like always with your albums? And
yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I am. I think this is a hard thing to get to too, is knowing when you're pushing a song too hard, or you're trying to like over perfect it, because you can over perfect it to sometimes where you never write it or you never release it, right?
Yeah.
Or it can just take so much out of you that by the time you're done with it, I don't even like want to play it anymore, So I always try to find that balance of just, again, this whole like just write through it, ride the wave, and then that's it. At least you got a whole song, and then the more you play it, like Josh is saying, the tighter you get, the more comfortable you are, and then you find yourself naturally progressing the song, changing it, but like for the live show, like the live performance, you just might give the audience a little something extra, especially if they've been listening. They're like, oh, I really like that. Or, for me as a player, I always feel much tighter after recording. I don't think I'm ever like 110, know I'm about to play everything super well. Just because, maybe because we're always like writing, we want to get music out, and we're starting to step back and, slow it down a little bit. But the process of repeating and repetition is just natural in the recording process. So by the time you get home, your next show, it's like, whoa, I feel way better about playing these songs now than, 2 weeks ago. And that's so cool. And then it like evolves even more. Yeah. Maybe you find another harmony, or like another like a way to like play the lick, or like, strum it. Like, I don't know. There's so many cool little dynamics that go into it.
Yeah.
And as far as the writing process for us, we generally get takes, on a voice memo or whatever.
Set up the
and
iPhone.
So,
yeah.
I know for me, I like to listen back throughout the week. Because sometimes, I might hear a little something different that I couldn't hear in the space or something. If it's maybe, it could be whatever.
Because you're playing a tin box, so.
Yeah. Or, sometimes you just hear it and just get, helps me out with. But you can also beat a song to death. But I think that if you do that enough, you eventually figure out when it's happening, and so you can not do it as much. So I feel like
knowing
like we did that more like 4 years ago.
Right.
We would just, write, a million songs and beat half of them to death, and they never even got played or recorded or anything, or maybe played them live once or whatever. But I think that we're all at a point where we recognize that, and so we don't really, luckily with Josh, since he's come on, we haven't really experienced that, and so that's been part of the fun too,
Heck yeah.
How long of a journey has this been? Because I know Proper Sleep is since 2017. Obviously, you had Magnolia, so how long have you guys been doing
7?
This? 14. Yeah, I want to say Magnolia was 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 14, 15. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. And then that was like a couple 2 to 3 years, and then
I think
Proper Sleep.
We're about 7 years deep.
Dude, I was 15 when you guys started making music.
Whoa,
that's crazy.
What was the first thing you heard?
Oh, well, I didn't start listening to you guys until like a year ago.
Right.
Like when I was getting to the local scene. The first thing I heard was Proper Sleep.
Cool.
So I started with Proper Sleep, and then I went to Boy Named Sue. I didn't know you guys were Boy Named Sue until I DM'd you.
That's right.
No, because I was listening to it for like a set, and I was like, wait. These guys sound kind of similar. I also like.
I thought that was really rad that you put that together. By the way, that's who I was talking to you in the DM, and I was like, "Oh man, that's so cool, dude! Like that's like showing me that you really listen. You know, like you were really listening. You picked up. Like that means a lot. So that was cool.
I also saw on YouTube that like one like sort of like that's that one sort of tiny desk thing they did with that one guy with Proper Sleep.
Oh,
I forgot what it was,
okay.
But I remember I saw that too.
We did at Heyday Guitars. We did a live session.
Yeah.
Is it that one?
It might be that one, but
was I wearing a sweatshirt, a gray sweatshirt?
I think
and
so.
Playing a gold Les Paul or yellow Les Paul. Because we haven't done too many recorded live ones, so that was wow. Yeah, that was like early on. I think Andrew. No, Keith was playing. Keith playing?
Yeah, I think he had just joined.
Keith had just joined the band during that. Yeah. Oof.
You guys have quite a history.
Oh yeah, I mean, like,
years.
yeah. So when you ask some of these questions, like, I don't want to go. Don't go too deep. Man. You can be here for like way more than 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back, I guess, to more the way I was and sort of like your music in general. So like a lot of your music just seems like, or at least like I'm listening to it, it's very like raw and like exposing, and like a lot of the lyrics seem like you're singing about insecurities, a lot of like sort of just like rage and all type of stuff. That's how I see it.
Right.
So like I guess, for example, just like Terrible Ways, what it's like Shapes, Fragments, like a lot of those are like, those are some of my favorite tracks on the way I
love
was.
Shapes. That's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah. So is your songwriting and sort of like the way I was just in general very much like sort of like letting your personal self out there through your music and with all these sort of just like mental stuff and all type of stuff. Is that a good shout?
I think that's a great perception. It all goes to like the necessity for writing music, right? It's a release for me, a way to. I'm not a good speaker, I would say, so like writing a song is a way for me to get my thoughts out in a format that makes sense to me. And I think a lot of my songwriting definitely comes from personal, either like introspect, like just looking in on myself, struggles, but also like storytelling. I'm trying to like really, kind of like learn at like just see something going on in like, family or like my, whatever. And then just, understanding it. I don't know, like, you talk to every day with people with just any kinds of not even issues, just like life, man. And that's really what I want to like. That's all I know that's all we like is life, living it. And we all live it in a similar way in different ways. And just understanding, trying to find understanding, I think is the big, and always searching and being willing to grow. And
that's awesome.
I don't know if that made any sense. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not good at speaking. I can write a song about it, and then I'll give it to you, and then I'll be like, "This is what I meant to say."
This is what I want to say.
Yeah, this is what I want to say.
The way I was is, would you say it's a very personal album, or just like, and
I'd say all the records,
it's all
anything
personal.
released is gonna be personal, because again, it's just like writing what we feel.
Yeah.
And just being transparent. And I think that's been healthy for me and for, just to be open and like, dude, this is it. And like, there's still the secrets though, right? That you always struggle with, and like, and taking maybe just a split second of a thought and dissecting it, or the split second of a moment and looking into just what that is and what that feels like, and it can open up, right? Like
I think that I think with that, like what it's like is definitely like one of my obviously one of my favorites, and it's definitely sort of seems like you're dissecting that sort of thought of like, what is it like to not be me and to be somebody else and looking at myself.
Right. You ever people like sat and watched someone and you just wonder like, man, what if that was like, if I was in their shoes?
Yeah.
And what would that feel like? Or if they were in mine, how do you think they would react? Yeah, I think that's a song we just worked on again yesterday. We're going to be playing.
Oh, live?
Yeah, what it's
nice.
like. Yeah.
It's honestly one of my favorites. And
hell yeah.
All right, so now is the time where we do the radio thing, putting on some music for your ears that you'll hopefully enjoy. Coming up, we got a boy named Sue's What It's Like. Hope you all enjoy, and when we come back, we'll talk about Boy Named Sue's new full-length album releasing on the 30th. Stay tuned. All right, and we're back with Boy Named Sue. We're gonna be talking about their full length Anything to Anyone. How do you guys feel about it? Are you excited about it? Like what's the vibe of it too?
Oh yeah, I'm so stoked. Just very happy to have these songs coming out. And listening to it on the vinyl, like, really cool. Like, I don't know if anyone out there who listens to vinyl, like, you get it. Like, the hear your like songs on like the wax itself, it just gives it a whole different listening experience. And I heard the songs, like, I was so nervous to listen to it. Right, I hate listening back sometimes to the records, especially like right before they come out. But so I was nervous, and then putting it on, and the first song Bollocks comes on, I'm like, oh, okay. You know, we did something really rad here, man. Like, and that's, I'm just really proud of us, mm-hmm. and proud of what, like, this stepping stone that Anything to Anyone, you know, could potentially be, you know, to the next, like, batch of songs that gets written. I mean, I'm just really proud of how they turned out. And as far as the vibe goes, I mean, kind of give you a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really laid out. It's a good flow, and you don't get bored.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's like 25 minutes. Like, we give you like 10 songs in 25 minutes. So.
Wait, really?
So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's definitely under 30.
Yeah. I was about to say that the way I was over a lot of the songs are like under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I think your longest one is a 3-minute one, but like, yeah. Do you like doing more shorter songs like that, or like because I've listened to like indie bands that have I mostly do like shoegaze type stuff.
Right.
So obviously like
right.
their songs are like literally like 6 minutes long and whatever.
Right.
So like, is it is it very much just sort of like you get it out there, you're sort of like loud and quick, and then like full stop? Is that how you like to
Kinda,
write
yeah,
all
I think so.
all your songs?
Yeah, what do you think, Scott?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we don't really think about it too much, I don't think. But
I think it just happens. It's kind of like riding the wave, right?
Mhm.
A lot of our songs have just like really cut off, like real short, because it's kind of like we feel like we've given everything that this song really needs, and there's no need to do any more. And I'll say personally, I think it does come. That's been a growing process for me too. I think on Anything to Anyone, I've worked at not trying to make a song longer, but keep it like, if it is going to be longer, how's it going? What are you going to do to keep it interesting? Right,
Yeah.
trying to like push myself,
Mhm.
but still, I definitely don't like to write too long of songs, because I personally am like, all right, I feel like this is too long. I feel
Okay.
like people who are going to hear it are going to be bored. I think there's insecurities that come with that.
Yeah.
But also just growing up listening to, like, especially early on, like punk rock, and just just really quick, to the point. If it's catchy, good rhythms, good lyrics, I'm with it. You can say 4 things and it'd be a great song. Yeah, and I think just naturally we like to write in just like that shorter time frame. And we're 3 people too. It's harder to, like, I guess, be, I don't know, you can't have all these layers and all these things.
Yeah.
And,
So you've released 2 singles from it so far, Missing Teeth and Come On Over. They sound amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
I like the bass part on Missing Teeth actually a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah. do you use a pick on these songs, or like do you go around, because I'm a bass player too, so
Awesome. Yeah. I use a pick on most of the tracks on this album.
yeah.
There's a few that are finger, but they're currently unreleased. Yeah, just all depending on what the song asks for. For the most part, I am a pick player.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I play a styles of music where that comes to an advantage. But
All that
every
punk
once
and
in a while,
stuff.
we're doing something that maybe need to roll off a little bit and finger pick, and really just trying to look out for that and pick the right times.
Is this album warmer and fuzzier than like The Way I Was comparatively? Because I see The Way I Was is like very sort of like more, I guess, cold, and in the nicest way possible, but and very sort of like raw and direct. Anyone to anything to anyone? Sorry,
Oh,
more sort of fuzzy and warm, because
I think so. I think that's, it's from a just purely even like listening, mixing, recorded standpoint, listening to Anything to Anyone, and then I listened to The Way I Was, real kind of like night and day. And I think that's a great way to put it, this kind of cold and this kind of warm and fuzzy. That should be the quote. New record, Warm and Fuzzy, the Loaf, like
warm and fuzzy. And also just a note, like you guys were talking about vinyl. Warm and fuzzy stuff always sounds great on vinyl too.
Yes.
Like I am also like excited to hear it on vinyl, just because
I can't wait for you to listen to it, especially if you like to listen to it on vinyl. You're gonna
Yeah. So a lot of your, or at least I guess a little bit sort of a side tangent real quick. Your promotional image, your first promotional image for announcing the song, you guys were on a beach, right? That was the first one.
Yes.
Was that Emerald Isle?
That was Oak Island.
Oak Island. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I recognized it, but
Nice.
Yeah.
How far is Emerald Isle from there?
I think it's about like an hour or so.
Okay, yeah.
So
right in that ballpark.
is it I guess like I don't know why I get like surf rock vibes from all the from like first of all from Missing Teeth and all type of stuff because you had that too. Is it like I don't know? Is it more I guess surf rock punk type style or deal or just like
What do you mean?
More specifically, I
like Missing Teeth specifically?
Yeah.
The song?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, if it sounds like that totally I could see that coming across. It wasn't intended like that.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the title of the record. Anything to Anyone is a line out of Missing Teeth, just for a cool little knowledge. But yeah, no, I don't. I mean, like I was born in Virginia Beach. I've got family at the beach. Grew up there. Love it. So I think that naturally maybe influences that kind of vibe on that song.
Mm-hmm.
That was a song that also like kind of came together fairly quickly. For us, we just rode that wave of it. And then there was refining after it, but that first Skeleton was pretty damn on point to what it ended up being, which is really cool.
What song are you most looking forward to people listening to that hasn't been released, or like what's that song that you're like, oh my gosh, like I can't wait for people to listen to this?
First one for me it would be Can't Stay Here.
Mm-hmm.
One I'm really excited about getting out there. And then Beautiful in Blue. And then a third if I do three, and then Burning Up. Yeah, Burn Up's a way different track, so just buckle up for that one.
Yeah.
Those are all like probably the three songs that really venture out of what would be our normal sound.
Right.
That's where we switch it up.
Yeah.
That's where I finger pick.
Yeah, it is where he brings the finger
Those
pick.
three specifically.
Oh, is it really those
Yeah.
three? I knew Can't Stay Here, but I didn't know the other two. That's funny. Great choice. You knew when to do it.
I mean,
that was perfect.
Personally, I think the album closer, our original album closer, a song called In Between, is gonna be a really fun one.
Yes.
We've been breaking it out live, and it hits hard. I think it was captured very well, and it closed. We have a cover at the end of this album, but as far as our 10 original songs, that's our closing one, and I think it stands really well there. An eventful closer.
Right.
And it does the same for set lists and whatnot. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, that track has a lot of really great harmonies that these guys do together.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's one big difference, I'll say, from the way I was to this, is you're going to hear these harmonies that Josh has brought to the table and is just completely, rounded out.
It's like
the sound.
makes it all, yeah.
Yeah.
So with like, I guess creating an album, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there like any sort of like any feelings of just like relief that you got like these songs like off your shoulders, like you record it and you're like, oh my god, like that huge the relief is off my shoulders, and like now I feel like I can move on or anything like that, or is it very much just like flowing through from song to song type of thing?
Just flowing, man. The relief of like, it's like, oh heck yeah, we just got these recorded. I can't wait to start hearing the mixes back and then getting like working through that, because that's another like 3 months of trying to fine tune things. And then it's probably the most hardest part was waiting for like the first release of like a song.
Yeah.
Like that's what gets me like super antsy.
Yeah.
Planning all that stuff is the most nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Especially we're doing everything in-house.
Right.
You have to take the role of, we're the producer, we're the promoter, we are the social media manager, and some days you just don't feel like doing that stuff.
And I think like it's less daunting now. I think we've started to find like a nice little rhythm with all of that, but still, but then it like definitely opens this door to writing new songs, right? We've already been writing again, but not forgetting what we did, because don't want to do that, right? Like this is, a record we're so proud of, and you don't, put all the time into this, and that's what we're going to do. But it does offer this, once they're recorded, it's like we feel creatively that if a song comes out of practice, write it out to see, don't say no, we can't we got to, focus on only what we just did.
Mm-hmm.
But then you don't want to go the other way and be like, all right, we already did this. We'll play those songs when we play shows. Let's only write. And we've done that before, It's just learning, like pushing them, like Scott was saying, like beating something all the way to it and then knowing when to pull back.
Yeah.
And finding a balance. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're talking about Oak Island.
Yeah.
This album that we're putting out, Anything to Anyone, we actually did the recording at Oak Island. So the picture you're seeing is like during the process.
Yeah.
Nice.
Out there
Stroll to the beach while between tracking drums and guitar or whatever was going on.
Shout out to Dan Projerski for taking the photos and for coming
Shout out
for those
Dan.
2 days, man. That was really, really rad.
Nice. Is there anything else you guys would like to add about the single or anything like that they think people should know or that you're looking forward to with it?
Doing a music video for Come On Over.
Oh,
yeah,
sick.
We got to.
Oh my God.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. We got a music video. Yeah. Our homie Garrett Barefoot, man, really came in with something really rad for us. So this kind of can't wait to put that out.
Is it or are you guys like playing on the beach or something, or like just like playing in the sand?
Yeah, no. It's actually, I think it's a really cool concept. Come On Over tells a story. And I think we did a really good job collectively of capturing that. Because music videos, we grew up on music videos, waking up every morning, turning on like Fuse or, MTV or VH1, and just watching these videos. And it kind of went away for a little bit, or at least as far as like, the style of videos coming out.
Yeah. Music videos mean a different thing nowadays.
Yeah, and I think that it can mean what it used to, which is another way to tell the story of this or whatever it is that you wrote. It's a visual now.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the hearing, you put a visual to it, and have fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of firsts for us. Recording a video is. We're no actors, okay? We're not getting any Emmys over here. So also keep that in mind, please.
You might get something.
I might get.
You might get an Emmy.
Might get a 1-star review.
Yeah, you might.
Need an Emmy.
Get a 1-star.
What? Why don't you come on over and it's just like you're asking the question and just some random like banana or just something like walking through the door like I don't know why I was envisioning that, but
there's there's some funny stuff in there.
Yeah.
We add some humor to it. Yeah. Very excited about that. So that's coming out soon, and playing a show to celebrate anything to anyone on the 7th.
Yeah.
At the Poorhouse.
At the Poorhouse
in Raleigh.
I'll hopefully be there.
I hope
should be
so.
sick. I've been I've been like it's always hectic, like trying to sort of organize like schoolwork and just sort of like having that balance between work and all that type of stuff and all. Do you guys like have that problem too, where you're kind of balancing work and your music, or is it just kind of?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much debt am I in? That's part of the balance, right? That's also part of the dream, man.
Yeah.
It's part of the grind, and you can't have those kind of tough times when you feel frantic without, it's tough. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But it's not anything you can't do. It's rewarding.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Best hobby I've ever had.
Right. For real. Yeah.
So I guess moving on to the local scene now. What's your favorite thing about here in Raleigh and sort of just like the local scene in general, if anything?
Yeah. No, I would just definitely say like the bands and the venues, especially post-COVID, things got really bad. A lot of venues closed down. A lot of people playing music couldn't anymore because, they had to, focus on other things. But this kind of camaraderie that's blossomed out of this in Raleigh specifically, and I'm seeing it in like surrounding cities like Greensboro and like Winston-Salem. There's, I don't know, it's kind of like a disaster had to happen for all of us to kind of come together.
Yeah.
And whereas maybe before there was gatekeeping and there was like, and you still always have those little things, but I don't know. I think more people are more open to play with each other, to get to know each other. Venues, you know, Poorhouse for me is like a venue that this year I've really felt like welcomed at. Not saying they never felt that way. It's just an intimidating place to play. There's so much history there. And like, you know, getting to know Adam and everyone, the staff over there, it's like, dang, dude, they really care about their artists. And I think it's been really cool to see that and hearing like, dude people coming out with great songs now. I just love it. Like, we just need more of that. And I just think it's going to keep progressing. I think we're just seeing this, you know, trajectory go up. I'm really stoked. And like you over here, WKNC, you know, we were talking about the history since the 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, this place has helped a lot of DIY artists kind of get, you know, their foot in some doors and at least opportunities. And yeah, really appreciative.
No doubt. So, I mean, being in the Triangle in general, there's no shortage of bands local to explore, artists coming through here on tour, you know, stopping anywhere, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. And, you know, I feel like I like know all these local bands, and then I'm still on a very regular basis learning of something new, finding these new little pockets of the scene or these up and coming bands that I'm out of touch with. And yeah, it's just, you're not bored in this local scene. There's a lot going on, a lot to appreciate, a lot to get lost in. I mean, it's wild out there.
Well said, yeah.
Do you have any like favorite bands? I'm not gonna ask you to name favorites if you don't want to, but I mean, like, anybody that you're like, and these guys are super cool.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot. You know, there's a lot of really dope bands out here. You know, I think more than ever. I think it's better than ever post-COVID.
Yeah.
As far as quality, you know.
So it's getting towards the end of the hour here. I'm gonna hit you up with some like just like quick fire, so just like random questions, just in general.
Let's do it.
So I don't know. I always like asking these type of questions because like it just seems like fun. If you could be one inanimate object for the rest of your life, what would it be? So like you still have consciousness, but you're just kind of stuck, like as this object.
Maybe this microphone. I think maybe this microphone, you get to hear a lot, you know, who knows what you're going to hear, the kind of personalities, people you're going to meet.
Yeah.
Always listening. That sounds like
a Papermate Bic.
A what?
A Papermate Bic ballpoint pen.
That is super specific. What specifically about the brand?
I mean, they're just
quality.
They're around, right? There's lots of them.
Yeah.
And they'll last a long time. Then you might run out, and you just have to exist useless.
That's another song, man.
Let's go.
Probably a couch.
A couch?
Yeah, most people like their couch, you know.
That's true.
Cool.
I hate my couch, though.
If I'm gonna be in it, you know.
You hate your couch.
I hate my couch.
I don't have a couch.
I can't. It's not good to sleep on.
We got a couch in the lounge. That's pretty cool. I've taken a nap.
That
in
looks
there.
like a good
couch.
That's
your couch.
That's a quality couch.
I've taken naps. I've taken like 2-hour-long naps, quotation marks, and it's been great. So
on the clock.
Yeah, of course. No. Hold on. Do y'all play any other instruments outside of like what you play, or like any instruments that you like to learn? Just like
I love the drums.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's like and bass, but drums are like my second one. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a drummer by any means, but I love to get behind a kit whenever I can.
Yeah.
And yeah, play around.
Nice.
Would love to learn piano.
Yeah. I play guitar. I mean, outside of playing bass, those things often go hand in hand, but And I share the desire to learn piano. I mean, that's ultimate instrument.
Right. I think so. Play a lot of He's a great guitar player, Scott.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not great. I mean, I can play guitar and I can play bass somewhat decent, but I definitely consider myself a drummer.
Yeah.
But, you know.
When we met,
Guitar,
like,
bass,
we were in
yeah.
a band. He was playing guitar, and, like, he was looking for another guitarist and vocalist, and then couldn't find a drummer. So one day at, like, practice, he was like, let me just hop behind this kit. And I was like, I didn't even know he played drums. And he gets behind the kit, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
This you got to play drums now. And that was
Nice.
pretty much how it formed. And since then, that's been us.
Yeah, I had played as a kid, and then when I was in middle school, I was good friends with a guy who played drums. So that's when I was like, all right, I'll play bass. And then I played bass for a little bit, and then guitar for a little bit, but hop back into the drums, and you know, that's probably my most natural feeling instrument. You know, definitely the most fun for me.
Do you guys like watch any like shows or anything? Anything like currently binging or you just?
Yeah, I finished up Ozark with, I think the 5th season came out. I am watching House of the Dragon and that Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah.
You know, I like it where it's going, man. I like how they're handling it, dude.
Yeah.
Trying to think. And then like Hoarders. My wife and I love that show, Hoarders. Yeah.
Can't forget about the best show ever, Survivor.
We're big Survivor fans, Josh and I.
I'm more of a Naked and Afraid fan.
Okay.
So,
You never watched Survivor though?
I mean, no.
These guys go to Survivor conventions. Like, they travel, they dress, you know.
I'm trying to apply. You all my city out there, bro.
The only reason we can do this interview is because it's off season.
Right.
Season Survivor.
I love that.
God. No, I watch. I'm a Naked Afraid, and I do enjoy watching Hoarders too. My sister and I watch Hoarders a lot. And it's like it's crazy. Some of those people, man.
The psychology behind it is so fascinating, and like a lot of times you can almost see within like I could get to that point.
Yeah,
on, like, collectibles and stuff like that, and I
yeah.
could see if I let myself go, it could get like that. But it also really helps you feel better about your own house sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, just to be real, it's like, all right, like, we thought our stuff is dirty, you know?
I watch
and
it.
we're tired and we don't want to clean, you know, right? It's like, all right.
I watch it and I'm like, I get the opposite effect.
Kyle's going to kill me. Everyone's going to think our house is dirty.
I watch it and I feel like I have to clean. So
right,
yeah, just like
right.
it's because I'm like, man,
you get motivated.
Yeah, I get motivated to do it. So, is there any hobbies that guys like to do outside of music? Just like
I skateboard.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been doing that longer than playing music.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my first love was skating.
Yeah, hiking, outdoors, travel.
Yeah, hobbies, Scott.
I like to read.
Good question.
I like to read a little bit. I like to watch basketball. You know, I'm a basketball head.
Nice. All right. So, anything else you guys would like to add before we leave here with the interview? Like, where can people find you? Like, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at Sue Named Boy, Linktree / Boy Named Sue, and search for us on Bandcamp for, the real good stuff.
Nice.
Nice. Good, bro.
Well, thank you all.
Thanks for having us.
On.
This was a blast.
Yeah.
Real.
I hope that that they all had fun. I certainly had fun. This has been WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. We're gonna leave you off with Missing Teeth and Come On Over from their new EP that's gonna be releasing on the 30th. Sorry, not an EP, full length album. Anything to Anyone. And thank you all for listening to Off the Beat.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah. And go. go.
Hey, sick, man.
I'll take the long way around just so I can see you now. Don't feel sorry for me. I know it makes you angry. I'll take the long way around just so I can see you now. Don't feel sorry for me. I know I drive you crazy. I know I drive you crazy. I'll take the long way down just so I can hear you out. Don't be angry with me. I feel a healing in me. I'll take the long way down just so I can hear you out. Don't be angry with me. I know I drive you crazy. I've been walking around these buildings and they're missing teeth. Their jaws are crumbling all around me, but I'm fine. Hope that someone's listening. These songs don't mean anything to anyone but me. I don't mean anything to anyone but me. I'll take the long way around just so I can see you now. Don't be angry with me. I'm trying hard and mending. I've been walking around these buildings and they're missing teeth. Their jaws are crumbling all around me, but I'm fine. Hope that someone's listening. These songs don't mean anything to anyone but me. I don't mean anything to anyone but me. Yeah, that's alright. hear from my sweetheart. Please tell her I'm home.